Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. The other day I popped into my local Farmers and picked up some Wet n Wild makeup which I have never tried before. I actually got a video request ages ago, probably a few months ago now, to try the Wet n Wild products because they were new to Farmers in New Zealand, and I said that I would do the video, and I am, even though it's really late, so I'm sorry that you've been waiting for ages. I didn't pick up enough makeup to do a full face. I was planning on doing it that way, but there were some products that, like the foundation for example, was completely too dark for me. They did not have the entire shade range, and I think that just comes with the fact that it's a really cheap makeup brand and people kind of devour the makeup that's on display, so there's never going to be a full range of all of the products that you want to pick up. But I did pick up 8 products and I'm going to try them out for you today and give you my first kind of impressions. So I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe if you aren't already. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and let's go ahead and get started. Now, as I said, I didn't pick up a foundation because the lightest shade that they had was way too dark for me, and I also didn't pick up a concealer. I didn't even see any concealers. I'm not sure if they stock them at my Farmers or if they've even made their way to New Zealand at all. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation and concealer off camera, and I'll be back for the next step. Alright, so my foundation and concealer are on. I did pick up a powder. This is the Coverall pressed powder in the shade H21B Fair. This one cost me $6.99, which is very cheap for a powder. Probably works out to about $4 US. And it says all day wear, radiant weightless finish, and reduces the appearance of wrinkles and rejuvenates skin. Well, not like I have wrinkles at the moment, but radiant sounds great. Oh, you know what? The seal has already been broken. I didn't even have to take the tape off. Someone has already been into this. Oh well. So this is what it looks like. Hopefully the shade match is okay. I'm definitely not going to be using the sponge. I'm going to be using a normal powder brush instead. Oh, that's so powdery. I don't know if you can see how much dust is on the pan now. Okay, we'll just start with a tiny bit then. Well, I'm not sure about radiant. This looks like a pretty matte finish, to be honest, but it has done a good job at setting my foundation, and it looks not too bad. It doesn't look like a $7 powder. However, it has emphasized my pores. Normally, I can only see pores on the tops of my cheeks, but with this powder, I can see them on my forehead as well, and they normally aren't even there. So certainly not my favorite powder, and it was so powdery. Like honestly, you dip your brush in one time and the powder just kind of poofs everywhere, but it's also not horrible for the price. Next, we're going to try out an eyeshadow primer. This is a long-lasting eyeshadow primer. On the top of the box, it says only a matter of prime. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. This was $8.99. This was the most expensive thing that I picked up, so hopefully it's good. I struggle with creasing on my eyelids, so that's going to be the test, whether or not my eyeshadow creases today. This is what the little tube looks like. I hope it's not too dark. I guess we shall see. I do like this type of applicator. This is the same as the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which is my current favorite. So that is the color of it. Actually, that does look light enough. That looks like a really good color. Oh, it's a very thick consistency. Well, obviously I'm not going to be able to tell you whether or not I like the product until I've got eyeshadow on, and we'll see whether or not it creases. But I can say that I do really like the packaging on this. I like that it's a squeezy tube. Are all eyeshadow primers squeezy tubes? Yeah, I think they all are actually, so never mind, but it's still good packaging. But I have my fingers crossed for this because so far the only eyeshadows that I've found that have worked for me have been high-end, so if a $9 eyeshadow primer could be a good one, then that would be amazing. Normally I do my brows after eyeshadow primer just to give the primer a chance to set, so I'm going to do the same thing today. I did manage to find an eyebrow pencil. I'm actually not sure that this is the right color. I ended up getting Brunettes Do It Better, which is obviously a brown. I looked for a blonde because this one I think it might be a little bit too dark for me, but they didn't have any of the blonde ones. So we'll give it a go. Anyway, it's called the Color Icon Brow Pencil, and it cost $4.99. So it's really not a train smash if it doesn't work. Now to try and get into it. Alright, so we have the pencil on one side, and we have a spoolie on the other side. We'll use the spoolie first just to kind of brush my brows into the right place. I already managed to get the pencil all over the lid. It is quite dark for me. It's so creamy. It's creamy like an eyeliner. Yeah, the product is coming out way too easily. Like, I'm doing the lightest strokes here. It looks okay, but I don't really like this. I certainly would not recommend it for beginners because it's just so creamy. Like, I was hardly even touching my brows and it was just really bold color. I'll see if I can show you actually. That's just one very, very light stroke, and if I press a bit harder, it's just too much product that's coming out too quickly. So I would skip on this one. Even if you're a beginner and you're looking for a cheap eyebrow pencil, I would not recommend this one. Anyway, we are ready to move on to eyeshadow. I actually picked up 2 eyeshadow products. The first one is one that I've heard a lot of people talking about and saying that it's amazing. It is the 3 eyeshadow trio thing in the shade Walking on Eggshells. So this was $7.99. It comes with a brow bone shade, a crease shade, and a lid shade. I'm not sure about that crease shade because it is shimmery, but we're gonna give it a go. But first, actually, because the brow bone shade is shimmery as well and I want something to set my eyeshadow primer with, I also picked up Creme Brulee, which is another one that I've heard lots and lots of people talking about and saying that it's really great. So this is just a single shadow and it costs $2.99. So like I said, I'm just going to use Creme Brulee just to set all over my eyelid. This one is way less powdery. That's a good start. It does look a little powdery on. You can kind of see it a little bit along the edges, but we'll see how other shadows apply over top of it. So in the Walking on Eggshells trio, we have another couple of brushes, which again, not going to use. I'm going to start with the crease shade and just pop that in my crease and hope that the shimmer doesn't show up too much. Now that's powdery again. Can you see the powder that's fallen onto the bottom shadow? Okay, so far so good. It's not overly shimmery, it's kind of more of a satin finish. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but in real life you can see that it's quite shimmery now. It's not my favorite, but it's not the end of the world, and it's so powdery. Anyway, next let's try this eyelid shade, which now has crease shade kind of splattered on it. Okay, the eyelid shade isn't powdery. I think that one's starting to look a little bit patchy. Yeah, that eyelid shade is definitely patchy. I'm not sure if it's the eyeshadow or the eyeshadow primer, so I'll have to try them both again with other products. But right now, not impressed. Also gonna use the brow bone shade on my brow bone and on my inner corner. This one's not powdery either. The brow bone shade is quite subtle, but it's my favorite out of the 3 from this palette. Moving right along to mascara. I am not excited to try this. I do not have high hopes for this at all. It is the Megaprotein Mascara Hydrofuge, and it's in this little packaging. Honestly, I don't even know what the wand looks like yet, so let's find out together. Looks pretty standard. Feels like it's doing nothing. Hang on, I need more product. This feels like it's dried out or something. This one is a no from me. It's done pretty much nothing to my lashes except kind of make them a little bit black. It is a dry formula, which normally I prefer over wet formulas, but this one is just so dry that it was actually really difficult to coat my lashes. I still think there's patches on these lashes that don't have mascara on them. You know when your mascara is either running out or drying up and it kind of like tugs at your lashes because the formula is so dry? That's what this one feels like to apply, and like you saw, I literally just opened it. I'm gonna try for a second coat and see if that makes things any better. Is there even anything on here? My lashes feel so crunchy now. This is a definite no. By the way, the mascara was $4.99. I didn't pick up a bronzer from Wet n Wild, so I'm just going to apply my bronzer off camera quickly as well. For blush, I picked up this one here. This is the Colour Icon blush in the shade Apricot in the middle. Just give me half an hour to open this packaging. Alright, we're in. Oh, apparently the blush comes with a brush too. Okay, place your bets. Is this going to be powdery? I'm guessing yes. I'm not sure how pigmented it's going to be, so I'm just going to use a little fiber brush, just in case it's completely over the top. Okay, I was wrong. It's not powdery. It's not overly pigmented either. Well, that's not bad at all. The colour is pretty. The finish looks exactly the same as my foundation, just like a blush colour. Honestly, it does not look like there's product sitting on top of my foundation. It's just blended in really nicely with the products that are underneath. And that one is $6.99. This one is a yes from me. For my highlighter, I'm actually going to go back to the Walking on Eggshells palette and use the Brow Bone shade. I really like that. It's just like white and reflective and it's beautiful. It would not work on deeper skin tones, but on me, I think that looks really pretty. And the last product that I picked up from Wet n Wild is of course a lipstick. This is one of the Mega Last lipsticks in the shade Spiked with Rum. It looks like this. It is such a beautiful color. I did swatch it in store and I really liked the look of the color and also the formula. It looks like it's going to be a matte finish, so we will see. The thing that I don't like about Wet n Wild lipsticks is that you can't wind the lipstick all the way down. So every time you put the lid on, you have to be super careful not to nick it with the lipstick. Anyway, you get the same amount of product in one of these lipsticks as any other lipstick, and this cost $6.49. So let's find out if it's good or not. Guys, I really like this lipstick. This color is absolutely gorgeous. It's actually a very similar color to my Clarins Wood Rose lipstick, which as you probably know is just one of my all-time favorite lipsticks. The formula is completely different from it though. This is a matte formula, and if I show you up close, you can see it's not emphasizing any dry patches on my lips. It looks completely even. This is a really nice formula as well. And it's not super matte like the MAC Retro Mattes, which are completely uncomfortable and you can't rub your lips together when you're wearing one of those. This formula does feel a little bit heavy, but it's not drying. So for $6.49, this is a definite thumbs up from me, and I'm probably gonna get some more. So those are all of the Wet n Wild products that I picked up. So this is my full face completed, not full face of Wet n Wild, obviously, like I said at the start. Half face Wet n Wild. Anyway, the end product is not too bad, eh? I wanted to just go through all of the products one more time quickly just to let you know whether they get a thumbs up from me or a thumbs down. So starting with the powder, this is one that I'm on the fence about. It's okay, but it's not amazing. If you're on a budget, go for it. The eyeshadow primer, even though we're not sure if this is the reason my eyeshadow is patchy or if it's the eyeshadow itself, I have to say my eyeshadow has not creased, and normally it would have by now if I was using a bad primer. So this one is gonna get the thumbs up from me at the moment, but if I discover that this is the reason my eyeshadow is patchy, I will let you guys know. Creme Brulee looks powdery on me. I'm gonna give this a thumbs down. Contrary to what everyone else says on YouTube, I don't think that it's that great. Walking on Eggshells Trio, I love the Brow Bone shade. I do not like the other two. I'm gonna give this a thumbs down. I don't think it's worth it to get one good shade when you also have to get two not good shades. The mascara is across the room because it was so bad I just like threw it away instantly. Mascara, definitely thumbs down, do not buy. The brow pencil, in my opinion, way too creamy, way too easy to make a mistake. Thumbs down. The blush I think is a really pretty color and it's quite subtle, so it's fairly foolproof. You shouldn't apply too much in one go. Blush gets a thumbs up. And the lipstick, in my opinion, is just the star of the show. I love the color, I love the formula. Huge thumbs up. Love this. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Wet n Wild products are, or if you agree or disagree with any of my thumbs up, thumbs downs. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!